Yes, we are taking my brand new Rubicon 392 off-road. I still have the temp tag, and I don't even have 500 miles on this thing. We're gonna take it well, Ben Hardy levels of easy, so it'll still go through its paces a little bit in today's video, and let's just get right into it. Now let me give you guys a quick overview of my Wrangler before we do some fun stuff. I've got the full AEV kit, so I've got the bumper, the winch, the lights added to it, 37-inch tall tires. I've got the lift kit with the 8100 series shocks from Bilstein, as well as the spare tire carrier that mounts to the frame for extra stability, extra gas storage, and the AEV bumper in the back. So with the V8, in theory, this thing should basically be a Wrangler Raptor. Let's see if it does that. My first time getting into four-wheel drive low. See if it... Oh, that was pretty darn easy. Sometimes Wranglers make a little bit of a fuss out of it. Now, I just have it in Off-Road Plus. I had a friend that requested this, so I'm actually going to try it out. My friend from, that's Alec at the GMC dealership in Provo. So this is gonna be brutally slow. So I might just like cut a little bit for you guys. Okay, so it doesn't do it. Him and I were wondering if this in four-wheel drive low could just go up a 33-degree incline, and yeah, no, I've got to actually use some gas. But with gas, I mean, and the V8 just can be absolutely perfect with the modulation. And of course, this thing with 37s is going to get a ton of grip. It's going to be no problem for it. Whatsoever. Now that's in four-wheel drive low, which is great. Let's get it back into high part-time, so I should be able to... Oh, that's auto. There we go. That's the thing I do like about the Wranglers, is pretty easy to switch between high and low. Once you understand how the system works, you got to be rolling a little bit. We got floaty suspension now. Oh man, the suspension in this thing is so much better than the stock Extreme Recon. Like if you guys notice, you know, the wallow side to side, that means I actually have travel. I actually have a little bit of down travel, which means comfort. And this thing is super controllable. The steering is actually pretty darn precise for a Wrangler. I mean, so far this thing is, wow. It's not gonna have a whole lot of rock crawling, but we will have some medium speed off-roading. So I just have an Off-Road Plus 4-wheel drive high part-time, and this thing soaks up the bumps, and I have so much ground clearance. Oh man. Yes, these are little whoops for a dirt bike. And let me tell you, it soaks them up. This has so much power in four-wheel drive high that it kind of even, yeah, it gets away from you a little bit. This is a crazy beast. Let's actually see if we can disconnect the sway bar. Yes, you can. In progress. Maybe it's because I'm not straightened out. There we go, it's disconnected. So even in four-wheel drive high part-time, you can disconnect the sway bar. And that will give us a little bit more articulation so that I can take a very, very aggressive line. Man, the steering, you got to really fight it. And it'll automatically reconnect and disconnect as I go quicker, slower. Man, you got to love the sound this thing makes. It is a monster. This is crazy for a Wrangler. Like, I know it's not going to come up on camera very well, but this is soaking up the bumps so well. Oh, let's not hit into that rock. Oh my gosh, this thing is so fun to drive. And again, it's actually controllable. Holy crap. Yeah, this is basically a Wrangler Raptor. I don't care what Raptor people say. They're gonna say, no, it's not. It's not a Raptor. I got the travel, I got the ground clearance, and I have a solid axle that you don't have. Man, you do have to be like a little bit of a skilled driver to be able to keep this thing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're catching air here and there. Wow. We're just gonna connect the sway bar, because we don't need that. Gosh, what a beast. This thing is an absolute monster. I don't think I've ever driven anything off-road. I mean, the Bronco Raptor comes close, but the thing about the Bronco Raptor is it's so wide. This thing is narrow enough that it just works. I want to test out the camera with it, because I've got the AEV stuff with the lights. Again, this is just a preliminary test, so this video is not going to have great exterior shots or anything like that. Yeah, the camera seems to be pretty accurate still, even with the relocation that AEV does. Yeah, it seems to be pretty darn accurate. Yeah, even this, I mean, those rocks are incredibly bumpy. Man, this thing is a beast. Okay, this is where I actually do another sway bar disconnect. I'm in four-wheel drive high this whole time. We could do low if we wanted a slower rate. I mean, this is a good example, right? So we're coming in here, get it into low. Oh, let's try that again. I'm gonna get crucified for that, I already know it. Man. Once I get this fully broken, and I'll do this little rock crawling with it another day. I just don't want to put people are gonna say you're already putting a bunch of stress. I don't wanna put too much stress on the driveline and everything. Because if I have to sit there and, you know, get at it for a little bit to get up a rock, that's where I don't want to do that within the break-in period. But, you know, getting a little bit into the throttle and everything, man, this is so comfortable. I mean, look at this. Obviously, the vehicle is moving side to side a little bit, but we've got, this is a trail that, with most vehicles, clearance is a problem. This is obviously not going to be a problem. And then the other thing is they're going to be a lot bumpier. But this has so much travel now and so much ground clearance and articulation. This is like luxe. This is seriously going over these rocks and everything, pretty luxurious. What I will say that's a downside with this compared to I can't remember if the Bronco, I think the new Bronco Raptor, yeah, probably doesn't have the same thing. The steering still, as you can see, it moves a bit, whereas a lot of the new off-roaders, they've completely disconnected things to where there's really no movement. Like the Ineos Grenadier that I just long-term tested, that had a lot less than this, but this is not bad at all. This is a lot better than my 200 series Land Cruiser. And especially for a little rock field like that. Like, let me, I'll just park right here. Let me just show you guys up close. Actually, we've got we should be able to have, show you guys the, no, I can't remember. I think it's this one. It's off-road. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I mean, this is not super steep side slope, but coming down, it's not super steep. It's just all of the rocks and everything, and then there's a little bit of a side slope. So walk with me for a second. Again, these aren't huge, but there's a lot of this that kind of makes it all uneven all over this trail, and you can see that it's tilted to the side a little bit. Like this, if you're on foot, it's a little bit of a hike. You got to make sure you have your good foot placement. But yeah, the whole thing up, it's not super challenging. I have taken a bunch of vehicles up this stock and with slight modifications, basically tire modifications, and this by far like has done the best. Like zero clearance issues. I could just drive any line that I want and it'll go over it, and it's by far the most the only one that was almost as comfortable as the LX 700H, but this thing's the most comfortable. Literally zero self-control, but this is going to be a cool thumbnail. This is the only vehicle so far that has not lost contact with the ground on this obstacle. And not just in the back, but also in the front. It is so cool to see the suspension all flexed out. This right here, folks, is why you buy a Wrangler. Nobody else does it like Jeep. So this is hopefully going to be a relatively quick video in terms of the runtime. Again, I'll have a better off-road video down the road. My initial impressions, with this is what I wish the Wrangler was from the factory. And with my previous Wrangler that I had for 2.5 years, I would take it through off-roads. And look at this, by the way. What gear am I even in? Yeah, this is 1. The crawl ratio, this is crazy. This is what I wish my first Wrangler was doing. And I remember I would take it through off-road stuff because it was the only vehicle that could handle it because of the width and the ground clearance and everything. This, on the other hand, is a vehicle that I would just want to take off-road just to take it off-road because I love the driving dynamics now. So not only does it have the capability, but it also has the driving dynamics. Whereas before, I mean, like, I owned a Bronco Raptor at the same time that I had my Wrangler. I had an F-150 Raptor, TRX. I mean, I had several vehicles at the same time. I would take those vehicles off-road rather than the Wrangler unless it was a Wrangler-only situation because they're just more comfortable, a little bit more enjoyable to off-road. But yeah, this V8 plus the AEV kit is just absolute perfection. So I'll have some more updates for you guys down the road, but let me you guys think about this kind of initial little demonstration. And I want to say one more time, this trail is not difficult for this Wrangler at all. This trail is intended, like, I use this trail for off-road videos for cars that have a 33-inch tall tire because that's most vehicles nowadays from the factory. And so this trail is going to be challenging for that, but for something that has 37s, I literally, it's like, you know how the old saying, you bring a knife to a gunfight? We brought a nuclear missile to a knife fight when it comes to the Wrangler on this trail.